right. So it's like we're getting ready for another one of these. Like we're getting ready for another one of these wonderful health things. How things down there?
God,
Okay, okay. So y'all need guys need a little rain.
yeah.
Gotcha.
We are
Sweet.
getting Dr. Christopher Brown, Health Facts, coming on board with us here at WVOE. We want you to get on board and be blessed. Dr. Brown, you on the air.
All right. Let's get a few more things set up here. Here we go. All right. Thank you very much for yet again letting me host on this show. I tell you, this has been an absolutely wonderful experience. I tell you, it really has been a wonderful experience. Well, yeah. So good afternoon, listeners. You're locked into WVOE, the voice of Ebony, where your health is our heartbeat. I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Brown, president and founder of Pressure MD Academy, welcoming you to another enriching session of Health Facts, the show where wisdom, wellness, and knowledge is always in season. All right, so looks like we got another day here. Looks like we're doing pretty good. And today, what we're going to talk about today is taking a slight little twist on what we normally do. So instead of talking about a specific disease, we're actually going to celebrate something. This week is actually National Farmers Market Week. Okay. National Farmers Market Week. And you might be asking, okay, Dr. Brown, why are we talking about, farmers market, and but if you recall, a lot of times, like I said, we always talk about the importance of fresh foods and stuff of this nature. So, where's one of the best places to get your fresh food? The farmers market, right? So this week is National Farmers Market Week. It goes from August 4th to August 10th. And, it's basically here to kind of, really celebrate the farmers market. And, it was launched by the USDA in 1999 to recognize the important contribution of farmers market in providing fresh food, supporting local agriculture, and actually creating some jobs, right? Today, they're like over 8,600 farmers market across the U.S. And in many communities, especially in rural and underserved areas, they depend on them for access to healthy foods. So this week gives us a chance to kind of celebrate those hardworking farmers, bakers, gardeners, and local entrepreneurs who kind of bring nourishment to tables every week. Okay, so of course, we're talking about health. So why do farmers markets matter to our health? Okay, let's think about this. Okay, so I'm gonna just give you like five reasons. Okay, so one is improved nutrition. So freshly harvested fruits and vegetables retain more nutrients than those that have been transported long distances. Remember, a lot of our food that's in the grocery store, especially the food that's out of season, they pick it. A lot of times they'll pick it a little early, right? Because remember, you got to ride for several days. You pick it, you got to you got to store it some way, and then you got to transport it over long distances. And whether that's, and whether that is, train, truck or anything of that nature, if it's a long ways away, it's got to travel distance so it can lose some of its nutrients. Okay. So that's one thing, improve nutrition. Number two, support for local agriculture. So buying local keeps your farmers in business and keeps the food supply resilient. So if you're buying local agriculture, like if your corn comes from, down the street or the next county or next city over, you're helping a farmer that is in your area. So that dollar that goes to that farmer gets circulated back inside of your community. So that is very helpful because what does it do? That means now your food, now you know where your food comes from. Okay, this person and what they're doing, how they're handling the farm. So you maybe you drive by the place or you can drive to the place, depending on if the farmers market is on the actual farm. You get to see what's going on there, so what's going on in terms of your food supply. So it supports local agriculture. Another thing is that better taste and variety. A lot of times in these farmers market, you'll find, of course, you go to the grocery store, you're gonna have typically they have like, maybe you have the traditional tomato and then the maybe the organic tomato. But sometimes in these farmers market, you find heirloom tomatoes because it might be a small farmer that really invest in heirloom tomatoes. There might be somebody that likes that's growing purple carrots, something it's hard to find somewhere. But so you might have purple carrots, or maybe some rare herbs that from a cost standpoint, maybe it's just not financially feasible for a grocery store to have it in their inventory. So you can get better taste, more variety from going to farmers market. Okay. Number four, fewer additives. Most of the products are going to have fewer preservatives, fewer pesticides, and less processing because this stuff is local, and a lot of times it's being done, kind of small batch and things of nature. Okay, so that's another reason. And then the other thing, and we talk about this sometimes with lifestyle medicine, that is community connections. Okay, so you meet people who grow your food, and that's powerful. They can tell you, they might tell you how, this is a same carrot that's been in the family for multiple generations, or maybe they found a new turnip that on their adventures. You get to make these connections there, and you get to learn about not only the people that grow your food, but the other people that are buying food. So this can be very powerful, very helpful in terms of how a person grows. So you get those community connections. So so shopping at a farmer's market isn't just a transaction; it's really an experience. It slows you down, gets you thinking about what you're putting in your body, and also gives you a little variety there as well. Okay, so when you go, okay, let's think about what are the healthiest foods? Like, what are the healthiest foods that you can find in a farmer's market? So here are a couple of what I would say five powerhouse foods that you'll find at farmers markets that deliver overall health benefits. Okay, this is overall health benefits. So one, leafy greens. Love leafy greens. Everybody should love leafy greens, as far as I'm concerned. So spinach, kale, collards. These foods are high in vitamins A, C, and K. This is excellent for bone and heart health. Okay, so these are great. I think everybody's getting a little leafy greens, right? Okay, so that's leafy greens. Number two, tomatoes. They're rich in lycopene, and this can help protect against heart disease and certain cancers. Okay, so they're associated with that, right? Number three, if at certain times of the season, blueberries and blackberries. Those are loaded with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. So you want to take a look at those. Number four, sweet potatoes, high in fiber, high in potassium, high in vitamin A. Great for digestion and immune support. So you got those going on. Number five, garlic and onions. Natural anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties, good for heart and the immune system. So these are things that you can find at your local farmer's market. Okay. All right. Now, what else we got in here? So that's kind of overall. Those are kind of overall health. Now, of course, I'm a blood pressure guy, right? So I'm going to tell you the top five foods that you might can find at a farmer's market that can help with, that can help or are associated with better blood pressure management. Okay. So those that are managing hypertension, you might want to look into these foods. So beets. Beets contain nitrates, which may help dilate some blood vessels and reduce some of your blood pressure. Okay, leafy greens, yet again, leafy greens. This is one of the ones I love. High in potassium, which kind of helps balance sodium levels inside the body. A lot of times, one of the things we tell people that have high blood pressure is to eat foods that are higher in potassium, and a lot of times that's by you know diversifying the food they eat, especially the plant-based foods. Okay, so that's one thing. So that's another thing. So that's number two. Number three, garlic. Known, it can support healthy blood pressure and cholesterol levels. Just kind of association, of course, here. Berries, full of polyphenols that support heart health. Got those. And pumpkin seeds. Okay, now, of course, that's only going to be available in certain areas and at certain times, but they have high levels of magnesium, potassium, arginine, all of which can benefit blood pressure. Okay. So, and just one quick fact. So, one cup of cooked spinach has nearly 800 milligrams of potassium, and that's about 20% of what you need daily. So, these are some foods that can be that can be helpful from a blood pressure management standpoint. Okay. All right. So we talked about farmers markets in general. Kind of some foods you can look for that can kind of help you overall, and and then some of those that can help you with with the that are associated with improving blood pressure. So, what else can we talk about? Let's talk community, right? So let's talk community because farmers markets are not just about what's on your plate; they're about what's in your neighborhood. They kind of help to create jobs because, like I said, it's a market. So if it's a market, so you got so the farmers out in the field. So number one, they got to grow stuff, right? So depending on the size of the farm, they may have to hire people. So matter of fact, when I was growing up, we used to work on a farm. My family farm itself, and then also when we talked about blueberries and blackberries. You used to be able to get on a bus and go to a blackberry farm and pick the blueberries, put them in little containers, and they would pay you per container there. So like I mean, it wasn't a lot of money, no, but I mean, you're a kid, so everything helped. So those are ways that you can make money and that you can have jobs. And a lot of times they're day jobs. Okay, so you got that for the farm, and then from the farm you got to get from the farm all the way to the market. Well, wait, let's back up. We need a market. So you got to have a place where you can sell the stuff. So there may be some construction jobs. Maybe somebody's got to clear off a little bit of land. So like I said, those are all jobs that have to be there. If there's grass out there, it's got to be cut. So all these are jobs that can be created inside of this community. Okay, so you got that, and then of course you got to sell it. So maybe the farmer, maybe they have a lot of stuff, but they don't have a lot of time, or maybe they need some help with bagging things and things of that nature. Maybe they can hire somebody for a few hours during that farmers market time. So that those are more jobs that can be created there. The other thing is that they keep money circulating locally. So if this is a local farmer and you take your dollar to the farmer's market. Now that dollar is going to go to that farmer. That farmer, like I said before, they may be paying somebody locally to help them maintain their farm or help to harvest on the farm. So all that dollar is helping to go to that. Okay, if they need to get it from the farm to the farmer's market, guess what? That dollar that's going to that farmer is going to go to the transportation person that's getting everything over to the farmer's market. Okay, so that's dollar staying locally. Yet again, we got to have the farmers market itself. So if there's somebody cutting the grass, that dollar that's going in there, and maybe the farmer is paying a fee to the market. Now that market gets to pay somebody to cut locally to cut the grass. So okay, that yet again, staying locally, staying locally, staying locally. So that dollar that you have now, a lot more of that dollar will stay locally and strengthen that community as opposed to whenever you're going to other traditional places to buy food. Okay. Um, and sometimes they increase the value of your SNAP EBT dollars, so it makes healthy food more accessible. So if you got the SNAP EBTs, like and they take that, like I said, you may get more bang for your buck out of the farm market as opposed to traditional stores. And then of course, what are you buying? You're buying healthy foods. So yeah, now your healthy food is a little more accessible. Okay, and then they bring people together. So whether it's families, seniors, farmers, youth. Matter of fact, if you go into the farmers market, take the kid, let them go see what's going on in there. A lot of times they'll have stuff for kids, or they may have like little homemade treats or snacks or candies and stuff of that nature that you can have for the kids. And then of course for seniors, like I said, they may reminisce about the old times when they used to grow. Whatever they used to grow, and like I said, they may be able to share some stories. So it's a very family friendly, a very everybody friendly time while you're out there shopping and browsing and looking around and hearing people's stories. So, like I said, there's a lot of other positives that go on there. So that's kind of how it builds your community, right? So next, let's see. Now, how do you get started? You've never been to a farmers market. Okay, let's think about this. So when you're going to a local market, you want to bring cash or your EBT card. Okay, so some markets take cards, some vendors take cards, but some don't. And the ones that don't, will always take cash. So you always want to have some cash with you. And that way, if they take the card, great, you may want to put it on the card. But if you don't, then like I said, you have some cash with you. Okay. Number two, bring your own bags. Try to remember to bring your own bags. This keeps the farmer from having to purchase bags and put things in. The other thing is that it does is it helps to reduce waste. Because of course, if you get your bag, he gives it to you, you're probably going to have to throw it in the trash can when you get there. But if you bring your own recycled bags, they can load everything into that, and then like I said, you can keep using that bag over and over again. All right, and then in terms of when to go, if you want the best selection, you probably want to go early. Before everybody has a chance to get there and pick over everything that's going on. Okay. And that's what you want to do there. Now, conversely, if you go a little later, you might get some good deals. So if, like say I've got, 10 crates of tomatoes or something of that nature, and I've sold 9, and I got a half a crate left. I might be willing to deal because I don't want to take these tomatoes back to the farm. Okay. So, if you're doing later, you might get some better deals. But of course, if you want the best selection, you want to come early so that, so that you can get the best of what's there. Okay. And then also you want to talk to the farmers. Talk to the farmers. See, find out a little bit about, hey, how long you've been in the farming business? Where is your farm located? How you like farming? What's the thing you like most and the thing you like least about farming? Get to know them. A lot of times they're very talkative, especially if they're older. Older ones are always chatty. So you might learn a little something there, okay, or something, get some inspiration. So you can also ask them how to cook unfamiliar items. So this is actually kind of cool. I'm kind of one of these people that if I see something that I've never tasted before, I want to try it. So sometimes you might find something that looks kind of strange or weird. Ask them what it is and how to cook it. And like I said, there may be a new dish that you may like. Okay. And also don't forget, check for seasonal favorites. There's a peach season, watermelon season, zucchini season, fresh okra. Just figure out which ones are in season and at what times, and make sure you go at the right times. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, as we wrap up today's episode, so we wanted to have 5 takeaways for National Farmers Market Week. Okay. So one, farmers markets are more than food. They fuel your body and your community. So there's more than just food there. Supporting local farmers helps the economy and your health, pulling them both together, right? Markets offer fresh, nutritious foods that can help manage chronic disease like high blood pressure. A lot of things that go on in the United States are are chronic diseases that are very highly linked to processed foods. When you go to the farmers market, you're getting minimally processed or completely unprocessed food. That tomato that's right off the vine is not processed at all. You just got until you take it home, chop it up, and put it in your salsa, right? Okay. Leafy greens, beets, garlic, berries, and tomatoes. Hey, always good, right? Always good. So as long as you don't have any allergies or anything in nature, those are going to be some great choices there. Make visiting your local market a weekly tradition. It's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in your community. So make sure you do that. Okay. So thanks for tuning in to Health Facts today. And actually, I want for this episode, I want to do one little caveat. This is for my folks over in Columbus, Ohio. So there's a Bronzeville Growers Market. You can also look it up online to get the exact address. But the Bronzeville Growers Market, like I said, we want to make sure that we go there this Thursday. That's tomorrow from 3 to 6. Go over there and let's support this Bronzeville Growers Market. And like I said, 20, 40, take $40 and go over there and kind of get you some fresh food. Talk to some folks over there and kind of support that venue. But overall, that's pretty much it for today's show. Just wanted to talk to people about farmers market and support National Farmers Market Week. So make sure that you all take a little time this week, go to a farmers market, get your favorite food or get something new. Find a new vegetable or herb or something of that nature. And if you got a family, take the whole family. Let everybody get something new or something that they like. Okay, so let's go out there. Let's support the farmers. Let's support the entrepreneurs. Let's support the community. All right. Thanks for tuning in today, and we will chat with you again next Wednesday.
All right. Thank you. God bless you, Brother Brown. Continue.
All right.
Have a blessed day.
You too. Take care. Thanks so much. Bye bye.